Gary represented me my entire playing career. That was my agent. Warren and I go back 30 years.
And we're ready to go. Brandon Adair, Danica Mosher, and Matt Callio are officials, and we're underway here at the Thomas and Mack Center. Is no good. Now, there have been summer leagues in California. Utah had one as well, Salt Lake City. These are two teams. This is the first time they're getting out so much farther on the offensive end than anyone had anticipated, and here he is, a first-round pick in the NBA. Dillingham cut off, 7 to shoot. Little floater from Rob gets his first bucket. He brings speed. We'll see the quickness of Terrence Shannon Jr. coming up a little later on. And there's some nice defense by Dacian Nix, but he can't corral the basketball. Nice find. There's Shannon with the finish. Their head coach a little bit later in the broadcast. Look at Dacian Nix, another steal. This time for Minot. New Orleans 5 out at the moment. Baseline look, and Shannon comes over and swats that one out of bounds. Perfect example of what you say. Bryce McGowens, who'd actually been waived by the Hornets, but was told, if you want to play Summer League, you can. As Hawkins, nice job hitting out of the corner 3. Averaged almost 20 points a game, and he got signed by Portland on a 2-way deal. You never know who's watching.
And it could also lead to opportunities abroad. There's just so many opportunities now to continue your career. One thing that looks a little different to this point in the game as opposed to regular season NBA games, Casty, not a lot of threes.
Yes, right? That's a good point.
Right. I mean, you're seeing a lot of guys take this thing to the basket. We've seen some...
Turns 24 at the end of the month. Played 5 years of college basketball. Nice find underneath and putting it up. And then Jordan Ford, who was a late acquisition here at Summer League by the Pelicans. It's been...
I should have maybe said that. I might have jinxed him when I said he looks comfortable, because he definitely feels like he can step out and do that, and he knows that's the prototype now, and it could be very difficult to find your rhythm. I think that's what he ran into.
Well, the Pelicans have heated up, and Jordan Hawkins helping them. They have hit 6 of their last 7 from the field. Since you're new to Summer League, 4 10-minute quarters. Really hard to foul out. You got to get to 10. How about Ford? Great move, but Minot able to recover and reject. The French Revolution in basketball has certainly arrived. We'll see that later tonight with 1 versus 2. And there's Hyfeed knocking down the 3. Shot 37% for Paris basketball last year, and here he is on display. Nix with a really sweet move. And Nix tried the no-look behind the back. Here's the floater up, no. Hauser tip, yes, for New Orleans. Their executive vice president of basketball operations is going to join us here at the start of the second quarter as Hyfeed from Minnesota gives them the lead with a second to go in the first. Matkovic, long court pass, no good.
Because he's got such scoring capability, there are teams that are going to be buyers out there, but then you've got to re-sign Brandon Ingram. So there's a lot there at play with that. He's had a number of things that have bothered him. Even didn't finish the year healthy, and because of that didn't play well in that playoff sweep. So
he was one of those names that David Griffin brought up because they're a little more devoid at center. With Jonas Valanciunas going to Washington, they signed Daniel Tice, and then of course they have Yves Missi, their draft pick, and Matkovic.
Matkovic, when Griffin said his name, All-Star Weekend, NBA Finals, these are the 3 marquee events of the year. Incredible what this has become.
Oh, what an incredible pass from 3/4 court.
Over the head outlet pass, basically traveling 60+ feet in the air.
A little backdoor action to open up, and 1 on a nice feed from Jordan Hall to Hawkins.
I like that. He's getting treated the way that like Zion gets treated in a regular locker room, because it's really kind of their show, and these guys know that it's going to be built around him this season.
Jordan Hall with a 3-pointer, and the first 6 points of the third quarter belong to the Pelicans, and there's a 3 out of the corner from Leonard Miller.
Thank you.
And then the top 4 teams, after those 4 games are played, will move on to the playoffs as the Timberwolves defense gets the steal. Here's Shannon with that left hand again.
Great.
That is one of the areas that the Timberwolves are looking to improve upon, as Isaiah Brockington knocks down the long jumper. I'm just showing my age, but I'm thinking of the back-to-back Final Fours as a member of the Kansas Jayhawks for Mr. Miles, as Dillingham converts. Now Dillingham misses wide right.
One thing you can see about Dillingham, and you mentioned it, he is looking to catch these outlets, 30, 40 feet up the court. When the Spurs took him, it would have been a logical assumption to think that they would like Dillingham, but they had already drafted a guard, Stephon Castle, with the 4th pick. Great aggression defensively, great ball pressure, fighting over screens, but then also converting. And that ball pressure right there is what forced this turnover for Knicks to get a breakaway and get an easy 2.
Toward the basket for dunks. Block underneath. Jesse Edwards.
Coach, talk specifically about what you saw in Rob Dillingham. That was a guy that you wanted to go and acquire by that draft day.
They were locked in and we were aggressive and they saw the opportunity. We were just excited. I mean, he came to me the night before the draft. He said, hey, I think we got a chance to move up and get Rob. But we needed a guy who would be able to go and get his own basket, create pace, and also give us some future at the 1 position, and we've got the luxury of learning behind one of the best to do it in the league.
How hard they're getting after it defensively. Is that something you were targeting and putting this team together?
Yeah, again, when Tim Conley came in, he did a great job of prioritizing defense and two-way players.
Always denied the accusations and then was found not guilty. He had been suspended for a time and then was back at Illinois and had a great finish to the season.
And with players on their roster as well, but not top to bottom the level of accomplishment that Team USA has. So it's always a weird dynamic, Keston. You got 12 players, and that's what you're trying to accomplish in a very short period of time.
Well, Grant Hill did a nice job putting the team together.
Temperature gauge there on the dashboard, and it was so high I took a picture of it because I don't think I'll ever see that again.
What was it?
123. Woo!
Tie ball game at 66. I had an Uber driver who showed me a picture. He had left his car for about 10 minutes, turned it off. When he got back in, turned it on. 130. As Ford hanging on the rim goes down, and the Pelicans have stormed back in front.
Playing at Staples Center. Like it feels like a Lakers home game when they're playing.
Keon Brooks with a big block there for New Orleans, but he keeps it alive for Shannon, who's going to get a piece of that one on the other end defensively. Hawkins goes to the left hand. No, but Makovic is there to follow.
Now you want to open somebody 2-point game.
6'10" from Croatia, played in the Slovenian league, and has shown some signs here. And Shannon's been terrific. 25 points for Terrence Shannon.
Yes.
Half a minute to go, still 2-possession game, and a tough bucket for Hawkins that time.
Nice.
Hawkins 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists in his second Summer League debut. Knicks at the line, split him, offensive board, and Minot might have put this one away with 20 seconds to go. With 10 seconds to go. Here's a steal by Minnesota off the inbound. They just got to dribble out the clock. Minot with 2 seconds left says, you know what? Wouldn't look bad with 2 extra points, but couldn't finish. The Timberwolves do finish an 81-74 Summer League opening victory over the Pelicans.
Patalbo muna na, kung ganun, patalbo muna. Gago talaga tinapos.